everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds of the Round Table, a weekly talk show where we react to and discuss the nerdy news. My name is Fred Sullivan, and with me is my partially still sick friend, Jack Rooney.
Yes, still partially sick. Still broken on the inside and the outside.
Yeah, his brain ain't working right.
No, there's a reason for that, to be fair.
Yes. So I'm getting to that. We actually were just recording this, and then his Mac...
His whole thing just shit the bed.
Just crashed. Yeah. So we lost all our recording from the previous episode. So we are going to re-record it in a more snappier fashion. Try to get it out to you a little bit faster.
Yeah, because now we're on a bit of a time limit.
Yes, indeed. Also, we basically are going to start off with this episode saying that I am going to be leaving February 3rd. So we are going to have maybe 4, including this one, or possibly 5 more podcasts, including me, until Jack takes over the reins.
Yep.
And drives this straight into hell. Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, I'll be continuing Nerds with my... I'll be continuing Nerds of the Round Table, the podcast specifically, with my brother Paul. We'll be recording it in probably an audio-only format, so we will still be posting the videos on YouTube, but it'll be more of a slideshow type thing, maybe with some color commentary of my own as text, because that excites... The idea of putting that together excites me.
Okay.
Any other, we still have some other projects in the works with possibly 2 or 3 other people. So, still planning on things for the future. We will obviously miss Fred a lot, but whenever you come back around to Jersey, you could drop right into a podcast. And
Yeah, I mean, it's as of right now, I'll be moving to Las Vegas to work with the boys from Ismahawk. I do not know when I'll be coming back home at all right now, because I'm going to be broke as a joke. Going out there without a job. We're just going balls deep.
All right.
Going out. So yeah, it's basically everything is going to continue. I just won't be on the podcast. And on top of that, there might not be a exact video version as it is right now.
Yeah.
But it will still resume. For those listening via, SoundCloud, iTunes, or whatever it might be, we will still be here.
Yeah.
Or Jack will.
And that's where, as far as we know, most of you are. So
it seems that a great number of you are that way.
We're just going to be swapping Fred out, sadly, with someone else.
He's saying that.
Making do,
sarcastically,
as we must.
He's like, get him the fuck out of here.
He's just so done. He's such a diva. He won't even start recording until I've gotten him a water and a foot rub. Can you believe that?
And a tug. God. Don't forget the tug.
It's in my contract. Anyway, so why don't we start off as we normally do after the bullshit?
Yes.
What have you been playing recently?
So I really didn't get to play anything. I guess you can say that I like Mario Run. I beat the single player.
Your most significant gaming endeavor?
Kinda is, honestly. Yeah. There's been a lot of work happening these past couple of days. This last week and a half, 2 weeks. Where I've just been playing Mario Run when I'm on the can or whatever, and that's kind of my playtime.
On the can?
On the can. On the shitter, on the can, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, jeez.
So
most people just go with toilet.
I call it the shitter, the shit house, whatever you want to call it. So I beat the single player, got all the pink, purple, black coins in it, so I'm kind of done with the single player, and there's only the multiplayer left, which is fine. I played a little bit of Overwatch, and then I played a little bit of Xenoverse, and that was kind of it. Didn't really make any progress in either.
Cool. Would you say that Super Mario is worth the money you spent?
For $10, I think it could be a bit high for people. Basically, if you don't have the money to spend, I would not spend $10 into Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mario Run. I was going to say Mario Go. It's if you get it purchased for you, then it's great. If it's $5, if you have
a gift card or whatever,
like an iTunes gift card, whatever it might be, great. For $5, I think that game is worth. $10 is possibly a little bit high. I don't know what they have planned for the future though with it. I don't know if they're gonna continue to support it, but from the way it is right now, I'd say it's probably not worth $10.
I appreciate Nintendo chasing the more luxury level in quotes, mobile experience, bringing something more than free to play to that market, which is what it's felt like for a while.
For sure.
But, I could probably name 10 or 15 games if you gave me enough time that are around that price point, within $5 or $10 of that price point. That would be some of the best gaming experiences you've ever had. And like one of them is actually the game I'm playing right now, which is Darkest Dungeon, which I think is like $20, and it's like this incredible gaming experience.
Jackway.
Yeah, just slide my recommendation right in there.
I'm playing Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah. Well, I finished my Civilization 6 campaign. America dominated the world with scientific victory and military might, as expected.
You beat him with the baseball bat. You beat him with the baseball bat, but you still won it with the science.
I wanted them to know that I could crush them, but I chose not to.
You're like, I want you to know that I could beat the literal piss.
I mean, there is kind of like there is a bit of a karmic choice with the Civilization victory conditions.
Okay.
Are you a warlord that just breaks everyone else against the rocks and like takes over the earth, or are you like a leader in science and culture? And yeah, maybe you've got a few people stuck in your boot from all the civilizations you've crushed. But for the most part, you took us to Mars.
You took us to Mars, but diplomacy? Fuck diplomacy.
Well,
listen.
Diplomacy's for the weak. Diplomacy is for those willing to compromise. And America was not.
America came in with their bats and beat back the bad people that are bad.
A lot of alliteration there.
I don't know why. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm lost.
But now that I finished that campaign, I decided I'd take a step away from Civilization. Because I played the marathon. I did like the real long one. So I played that game for like more hours than I should. And now, so I figured Darkest Dungeon would be a good diversion, especially because of our conversation about Game of the Year last week. It was on my mind. So are you kidding me? Are you going to pour another water? I hate you like so much right now. No, this is the show now. This is what we do. Oh, hey guys, I'm just gonna be leaving. No worries, I'm not gonna burn the whole place down on my way out.
Drop the mic. Shit on the table.
Oh my god.
I was pouring water. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
But did you like how I poured the water into the cup and then took a sip out of the bottle?
Yes, I loved it. It was great.
Fantastic.
I hate you. As far as what I've been watching recently, I watched started watching the OA with my fiance. It's slower than a lot of the other Netflix things that have come out recently.
I noticed that from the butt cheeks I saw.
Yeah, and the first episode is weird in that it's like longer than the other episodes in the season, and like you don't get a title card till like 30 minutes in. It's like, oh hey, all of this was kind of like important bullshit, but like not really like a lot of exciting stuff happening. And then like you get the title card and like then things are happening. And like every episode after that has been like, I mean, they get like kind of intense. And the premise of the show is like it would spoil things for me to tell you about like why the show is interesting and like.
Well, you wouldn't have to spoil it for me. It would be for the lovely people that are listening.
Well, you have no interest anyway.
No, not at all.
No, but I mean, like, I would have to spoil it to talk about like more than what I already have. But like, it's an interesting show. It's got some interesting characters and like.
It's about diddling the dangly bits.
Yeah, I mean that is what you see in the first like 30 seconds. There's like it's like intro, sex, and it's, at a certain point it's just like Netflix. Are you doing this because you know you can?
Yeah. Probably.
Does this need to happen right now?
They're like, hey, man, honey, there's sex in the show.
Oh my god,
perfect.
Yeah, and that's like their first and last mention of sex for like 5 episodes. But I don't know. Whatever. Point being, I'm interested in the show. It's holding my attention so far. I've watched like 4 or 5 episodes out of 8, and I think it's like well worth your time. But I can totally understand how it probably. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to you, not because like I don't think you have the attention span for it, but just because like I know your list of other shows to watch. There are more important things to watch than the OA.
Okay, good. Yeah, because there's a lot on that list to the point where I don't remember them all right now. Yeah, it's not good. And I gotta move. So
do you know that I hand talk when I'm alone? Like I do this a lot, and I talk like this with my hands a lot. And like when I record like Nerds and Nuzlocke, if I don't have both hands on the keyboard, one of them's like doing something. I'm like, oh man, I really like. I'm just like I'm so upset at these Pokemon and all these gym leaders who just fucking
How was that super effective one hit?
Yeah,
you killed him.
Like, nobody's watching me. Why am I doing this? But anyway, we should probably get into some of the news.
Yeah, probably.
So the first thing we were going to talk about, the only piece of gaming news in our wheelhouse right now, our own personal wheelhouse, is that BioWare released a release date for Mass Effect.
Yes.
Andromeda.
Yes.
March 21st.
Yes.
And that's the first part of that news. And I think it's safe to say we're both pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's as I have said previously on the show, it's like Mass Effect has always been something that should intrigue me. It's just how they didn't sell me with the massive amount of dialogue in the first one. Yeah. But it's still like a third-person action game that is very enticing.
Yeah.
I just can't find myself getting into it. But I'm excited for it. I know a lot of my friends are extremely excited for it, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah. If it reviews well, do you think you'll consider it?
You know what they say, Jack. I play tens.
Yeah.
I play
I
tens.
suppose they do say that.
Yes.
I'm obviously very excited about it. I loved first the original trilogy of Mass Effect. I can see how someone would get turned off by the first part of Mass Effect 1. There is a lot of dialogue. There are a lot of like things going on. I feel like they're trying to make a statement about what the game's about, but ultimately I think they were unsuccessful in that. And for me, if I hadn't been able to get into the first one, just the nature of those games where each choice builds upon itself and you're supposed to have your own unique character by the second and third game, like separate from everyone else's character because you made different choices, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to feel a real ownership. Like I would feel weird dropping into the second game without having played the first because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the second game is apparently where it the action became really well done.
Gets a little better.
That's where I would have dropped in, but it doesn't have my attention, unfortunately. Andromeda maybe, because it's kind of like...
It's a fresh start.
It's kind of like a fresh start, so I might.
Yeah.
I might dabble.
Sorry again, everyone, about my sniffling this week. It's a tough week. It's been a tough 2 weeks.
I gotta pee.
It's been a tough 3 weeks. The other part of this BioWare news that we were going to talk about is the fact that BioWare has said they're not going to be bringing Mass Effect Andromeda to Switch, or rather they have, quote, no plans to bring Andromeda to Switch.
Ugh, not good.
Yeah, I mean, you and I talked about a little bit about this before the show. Like, this, in almost no way, can spell anything good for Nintendo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it kind of means, because what are the... let me try this again. EA, the publisher of Mass Effect...
Yes.
...has every reason... And almost always has tried to put their games everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And almost every platform.
So if it was possible to get it on the Switch, or if it was going to be lucrative to get it on the Switch, they would do it, right?
Probably.
So it either means... I mean, to me, maybe I'm reading this wrong. If any of you out there have any other opinions about what this news could mean, you feel free to let me know. I want to know. I don't want any Nintendo apologists, but I am curious to see if anyone has any other idea about what this could mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to me, it either means that the Switch is not powerful enough to run a modern game, like the PS4 will and the Xbox One will.
Correct.
It's either the EA doesn't see the value in the Switch as like a potential platform. Like they won't put their game on it because they don't know how it's going to sell. They don't know if it's like a worthwhile investment to put their game there.
Also a possibility.
I mean, I don't know what else it could be.
The only thing I could possibly think is all right, well, we don't have the time, or maybe it just isn't really what we want to do right now. It's not an easy porting process. I don't know. Yeah,
and even that spells awful news for Nintendo because that means that their system is too complicated to port to.
Yep, that's a whole other point. I mean, it's not good either way.
None of those things are good for Nintendo, and it concerns me because I want to be excited about the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, and that's why if anyone actually does have any other idea about what it could mean, give me a little bit of my hope back.
Give it a little hope. But it also could just spell the fact that maybe Nintendo doesn't have as much processing power as the other consoles do, and maybe people aren't willing to take the chance on it.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think, being a little doom and gloom about this. It might not be the end of the world. It could mean really nothing at all. But as a canary in the coal mine, if you will, it doesn't bode well.
No, not at all.
For me, at least.
Not good.
And BioWare and games from EA are games that I would like to play often.
Yeah, it seems that they're kind of in your wheelhouse.
BioWare, especially, EA just publishes everything. So, there's a good chance that I'm going to run across an EA
you'll find something.
I want to play. Yeah, exactly.
Bring back Skate, you bitches.
So, if they're just not bringing games, or at least if they're not bringing games like this to the Switch, that's less Switch appeal for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... It makes you think of other possibilities as to what won't come to the Switch.
Yeah.
Which is not good. You don't want that. You don't want that thought without the console even being out yet.
But I mean, who the fuck am I kidding? If they put Smash on it, I'll just play it. I'll buy it anyway.
You're damn right.
It's my way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the other stories I wanted to go over with this week, maybe on a bit of a lighter note, is the top 100 bestsellers of 2016.
I'm down with that.
Now, top 100 is maybe a little bit.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But I figured I would go over it. Steam has, this is from Steam, has divided these games into tiers. In no particular order, based on the top games measured by gross revenue this year.
Okay, it's different.
Yeah.
Okay,
same games, different order.
Yes, okay. So, yeah, I mean...
Again, in no particular order, the first one on the list here is The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt.
Which, I mean... Not a big surprise considering they're the DLC they released this year, as well as mod support for pretty much any RPG that is on PC.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's not a huge surprise. An incredibly successful game.
That too.
With plenty of opportunities for lucrative, selling DLC, selling...
Big game, too.
Big game, yeah. And it's you're right, it is a game that, rings... It's appealing, very appealing to PC players, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a time dump as well as it really shows off what your system can do.
Exactly.
Graphically.
And it's a bit big for me, personally, but,
I'm not, obviously, not into those big, massive RPG games, so that doesn't help me much. But
speaking of big, massive games, next one on the list, GTA 5.
Yeah, man.
Which came out in 2014.
I'm pretty sure. Well, 2013, technically, I think, right?
Oh, I guess.
Is it 2013?
No, 2014. No,
sure. 2013. Because I was still working at Best Buy.
Holy shit.
This game is unbelievable.
Yeah, because it came out the same year as The Last of Us.
Yeah.
We had this whole problem.
This game is unbelievable that it's standing the test of time.
Yeah.
And it's 3 years after its release now. And it is still platinum on Steam.
It's about to be 4 years after its release. What was it released? Mid-summer, I feel like?
No, it was released...
Late summer? Early fall? September?
It was September. Yeah.
2013. So, yeah, we're closer to... We're almost at 3.5 years, I think.
Well, it'll still be up there at 4 years. The game's not
almost
going
definitely. Those games never...
No, I mean,
it's... You want to know how much it costs? On PC?
Still,
full retail.
God, man. Oh, $60 I get it. Still, yeah. I get it, but at the same time, there's some people that are waiting for sales on that, and sometimes it just doesn't line up, and they're like, well, guess I'm never gonna play GTA. Gonna get it. It's 3 years later, and it's still $60.
Unbelievable. Actually, totally believable.
It is. I mean, it's an oddity.
Next game on the list is very special to both of us. Yes. Civilization 6.
I still have not played it, and I'm very sad.
I'm going to see if I can find a copy for you. Maybe as a going away present, I'll get you Civilization 6.
No, don't do that.
Why? Because you'll be too distracted?
It'll be bad. Real bad.
Well, we'll see. But I don't know. I'm happy to see it on there, especially with the relatively small amount of time it had to sell all those copies. Just October to December, I guess.
Yeah.
To make this list. So
that just goes to show you the selling power of Sid Meier's actually has in Civilization.
Yeah, and we don't hear about it a lot in our circle, but
the fan base is loyal and diehard. Yeah. They'll go out, they'll buy it every time.
They buy those Civ games.
And I'm sadly not in part of that right now.
Not yet. The next game on the list is, of course, an eternal Dota 2.
Yeah, there's just a few games that just won't ever die.
It's going to print money for Steam forever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For
and
Valve, I
it
guess.
helps that esports and people are still playing that game on a professional level. It's being seen by masses on Twitch.
Yeah.
It won't go anywhere.
Speaking of which, CSGO also on the list.
Yeah, another one of those games that just has a huge following and it's not going anywhere. That game, Counter-Strike has been around for years.
Yeah,
It really hasn't changed anything, but it's because it is what a lot of people call the perfect shooter.
Yeah.
So
I think there's a good reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
Along the same vein as The Witcher 3, Dark Souls 3. big open world, well, semi-open world, big open RPG, very much catering to the PC crowd.
For sure.
It had its success on console as well, but I'm not surprised at all to see it on this list.
It's a RPG, which I don't know if I'm sure there's mod support for it in some fashion, but
if you try hard enough, you can mod anything.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Dark Souls 3 is also just like there is like that hardcore group as well that love it, and that's what you see a lot of times on the platinum sellers, like the high sellers, like especially on PC, you'll see just these like random games that you don't think would be on there.
Yeah,
and they are,
and they have their hardcore following. They also have broad appeal. Oh yeah. So like, and once you get that hardcore following, you get a start with the general audience. You're set up for success.
For sure,
obviously, and that's any game,
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised to see it on this list at all. And like the success of Dark Souls to Dark Souls 2 to Bloodborne to Dark Souls 3, like From Software hit upon something pretty cool there.
Yeah, I mean they found something that people really enjoy, and it's odd and different.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
It's weird, Japanese, and challenging as all hell.
Japanese.
Next one on the list: Total War Warhammer.
Yeah,
this is an RTS. That
I don't know a lot about the Warhammer
anything
series.
About.
I know there are people out there that are diehard Warhammer fans.
Apparently.
But like, I don't really know that much about it. But I mean, it's sold real well this year, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't know what to say about it because I really don't have anything to know about it.
So what I know about this is that I think Total War is like the line of games. Like I think they've done Total War, like Rome, Total War, like Japan or whatever, and then this is just this was their banner. This was their theme, I guess, if you will.
Two giant companies just combining to make this game,
making sweet game love.
Sweet game love.
Next on the list, bit of a surprise. I thought that the negativity around this game would have spiked sales sooner, but No Man's Sky on the list.
No Man's Sky is on there. I mean, good for you guys. I mean, who knows? Maybe this was like with the Foundation update or whatever it was that they put out.
Yeah.
Maybe that like spiked sales as well. But I think that game, again, was so hyped up that like everybody bought that at launch. And then that's when that whole thing with them trying to return the game came into play on PC. So
I wonder if they would. I wonder if they would take that out of the gross revenue for the game. I wonder if they factored that out.
I don't know if anybody really got returns on it.
I think some people did. I don't know. I know there was like Steam has been getting better about returns recently. So like I don't know. Maybe they have.
Who knows?
Next game on the list, XCOM 2.
I know you're a big fan of that. Again, it's in one of those games that has a big following that might not be as big, but they're diehard.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of them. And then, not a huge surprise, The Division came out really strong.
Yep.
I wasn't overly impressed by it, but it's because of my own hyped up expectations.
And then I thought it was going to be the best game of all time.
I wanted it to be. And then I think it had a recent resurgence.
Yes.
With some of the new modes they input.
Yeah, some new DLC, some new gear, and they're constantly trying to update it and make it so it's the game that people wanted. But I think it's sold well, but I think that it's going to take Division 2 to like really make that game as what it
cement
really
it in the minds of in the minds and the culture of games.
Exactly.
Next one's Fallout 4, which is kind of a surprise to me because it came out in 2015, right?
Yeah, but again, DLC came out for it. There's mod support for it on it as well. So
all right, you're right.
Yeah, I mean it's Fallout. It regardless if it was like a highly regarded one or not, it still has another one that has a huge diehard audience.
I guess that's true. I mean, like I think about that game as like a game that I really enjoyed, but was a little bit of a disappointment because it was so similar to 3. But I wonder if that's like the average conception of it. I wonder if there are,
maybe that's what people find attractive about it.
There could be plenty of people who are just happy to have it. And I just mod support as well on that one.
Yeah, all right, well, let me fight like Thomas the Tank Engine.
I can put whatever I want. Yeah, you can do almost whatever you want to Bethesda games.
They're like...
Because they're going to crash anyway. You might as well do whatever you want
to. Oh, boy.
And the next one on the list is Rocket League. I am so happy to see that game there.
So good. I mean, like... The thing is that it has to be purchased on PC because it wasn't given for free on there. But like, their longevity, I think, is really imposed to like their free or not free, but like the cosmetic updates that they put out that you can buy the stuff if you want.
Yeah.
And on top of that, everyone's just like playing with their friends. You get to play with people. It's
a game that like there's plenty of reasons for you to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you like a lot of opportunities to give back to them give back to the developers in a way that doesn't feel dirty at all. It's all purely cosmetic. You can earn most of the things in the game, and the things that you can't earn are like it's like $1 unlocked to like have a chance of earning something cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the this is how like paid for stuff should work with DLC, right? You shouldn't pay for this and you get a chance at getting some of the stuff where you could still go and you can buy like cars or you can buy toppers or whatever it is that you want to get, and you don't feel like you spend the money on that because you know that's what you want.
Yeah. So, and I think the other thing about Rocket League that makes it kind of a success is the fact that you still have to pay for it. You don't just like walk in the front door. There's still a bit of a premium for the entry,
For sure, yeah.
Except for everyone who got it for the PlayStation Plus that month. Everyone who's gotten it since, which is in the millions of people, has like put down their $15 or $20 or whatever, walked through that door and been like, no, this is a cool place. I'm going to hang out here,
Yeah.
And it's I think that barrier to entry, while still having those free to play aspects, actually does a lot for the game itself and the community and what you're willing to spend because you feel like you have a premium product.
And on top of that, they also have an esports league now too.
It's true.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I see the amounts of money that you can win in that, and I'm like, man, I'm not that good at Rocket League, but maybe someday.
Yeah, right? It makes me wonder. But like you watch people that play that, you're like, what? No.
People do stuff in that game that I'm like, oh, I never learned how to video game that way, so like I'll never video game that way,
Yeah, no, never gonna happen. Yeah. But whatever.
And then from the gold tier, which is the next step down, obviously, I just want to pick out like one or two games that I think are really funny, and that's Call of Duty Black Ops 3, placed on the list right next to Stardew Valley, as if saying, look at these two sitting right next to each other on the same list.
Multi-millions.
Yeah.
Maybe hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
maybe
like one dude in his with his computer spending like $10,000 and selling enough to be on the list of the highest grossing games of the year on Steam.
Sick.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for that guy. I think it was just one dude and maybe like 2 or 3 other support people, but like still, whatever the case is, whoever developed Stardew Valley, bravo.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
I just want to point out 3 games on that list where it like Team Fortress 2. Are you kidding me?
Still.
Yeah. Still, man, like crazy.
It's not up there with CS:GO. It's not up there with Rocket League or Dota 2. But like, I would not. I mean, I bet it was close.
I mean, the thing is, right, is that game has been around for how many years now?
Yeah.
Like, it's been forever, and props to you.
Yeah, of course.
But I will say, 2 games I think their resurgence came back big this year was Rainbow Six Siege.
Absolutely.
And then H1Z1 King of the Kill, which is basically like big stream games.
How is that? Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I was going to say, how are those games on there?
Big stream games, man. I mean, like, I think Rainbow Six had a huge resurgence because they keep putting out more and more DLC with new characters.
Yeah.
And they constantly do rebalancing and whatnot for it to make it, because they actually do have esports for it as well, where there are tournaments for that game. But on top of that, you look at, H1Z1, a game that's pretty much still in beta, but because streamers play it, and it's like massively fun if you can survive long enough.
Yeah.
Could be cool. So I guess that's the reason why it's up there, but that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
being
cool.
a beta game.
It's like games made by the community, and I think that's
essentially
awesome.
It's they listen to the community and they make the adjustments. Yeah, so it's cool.
And the next thing on Steam I wanted to go over was the Steam Awards, which I think were super cool, a lot of fun, and not like a traditional Game Awards thing.
Very different, yeah.
Very different. The first award that I wanted to talk about was Villain in Most Need of a Hug. And these are voted on by players themselves. And on the list of nominees, it included Voss from Far Cry 3, Pagan Min from Far Cry 4, which means that like Far Cry is creating, like that team is creating distinct villains, and I think that's very cool.
Indeed.
Borderlands 2, which I love that.
I can't tell what that last game is.
Neither can I. And Portal 2, which was the winner for Gladys, which I think makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I never played the Portal games, but She seems like she's a mean person.
She's a mean person, but like you kind of just you like her a lot. I think that's what it is. It's like villains that you like a lot that you're just like maybe if I just snugged up on you,
maybe you just got a little bit of loving. You know,
maybe you'd be okay. You know, the next award that I want to talk about. I thought this game was cool before it won an award. You got Starbound on there, which I love. Stardew Valley, which I love. And I don't know what the other two are, but the winner is Euro Truck Simulator 2.
The fuck is that?
What the fuck is that? Internet? You did this.
You know, it was probably some trolls. They're like, let's pick this random
that's the thing,
game.
though. Like, those simulator games have their audiences for reasons I don't fully understand.
That's true.
But maybe we should just try it.
I don't know how much it is.
Maybe we should just check it out.
No, maybe not.
The next award, the Test of Time Award.
Yes.
The winner, so on the list, Team Fortress 2, Civilization 5, Terraria, fuck yeah. But the winner is Skyrim.
Yeah, I mean, all of those games, pretty much true. I mean, now that Civilization 6 is out, I mean, you can kind of see Civ 5 getting...
Terraria especially, though.
Yeah,
because
it's Jack's game.
Because absolutely yes. Thank you.
Jesus.
And I think maybe the last one. Yeah, the last one we're gonna go over, the Just 5 More Minutes award.
Oh yes.
And on this list is Civilization 6, of course.
Yeah.
Fallout 4, makes sense.
Yes,
Terraria, absolutely.
For you.
Rocket League,
yeah,
of course. And the winner, which I actually don't understand, maybe just because I don't play it, is CSGO.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that much about CSGO. Like, I don't know if I'd ever have that craving. But Civilization always fucking does that to me.
Every other game on that list, absolutely yes.
Yeah, I mean, I only have really played, like, Fallout, but, like,
whatever.
with Civilization and Rocket League, but Civilization especially, like, oh, man, only, like, one more turn before I get this research, one more. And you're like, oh, but I get this research in like 5 turns. I should just play 5 more turns.
You know what? I figured it out with that game, is that you click next turn and you wait, and then like your next turn starts, and you get into a flow where you're like setting people's movement paths, you're upgrading people, you're doing all that stuff.
Yep.
And then you just click next turn. You don't even fucking think about it.
Yeah, it's just.
And then suddenly it's 3:00 in the goddamn morning, and you got work at 4, and you're just like, what the fuck? Why did I do this? What did I do?
Why?
But yeah, no, that's an awesome. Those are all awesome games, and I think they all deserve a nod there. And I think that award system, I think that was the first time they've ever done that. Super cool.
Oh yeah, it breaks the norm because everyone's just like, RPG of the year, sports game of the year, action game of the year.
Which that's all cool. It's important to recognize success where you find it, but like sometimes it's cool to just be like, hey, video games are fun, right?
Yeah, like we're a community of goofballs. Yeah. Like, just have fun.
Yeah, like, maybe it's okay to do something silly.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, well, best game to play while eating snacks is another award. Like,
because you can do it one-handed.
Yeah, or best game to play while you're on the crapper.
Super Mario Go. Super Mario Go. Super Mario Run. Run.
Super Mario Go.
Super Mario Run Go.
Because I was also thinking about Pokemon Go, but I was like, man, I can't catch Pokemon from my toilet.
Ah, jeez. You can now, kind of. They just dropped them like right next to you.
Oh, that's cool.
At least where I was recently.
Well, whatever. We won't get into that conversation.
Sorry, I'm gonna cough.
That was Jack.
Yeah. The last topic we want to talk about is actually more TV focused. Bill Nye's new show has some more details announced. We talked about it previously. Bill Nye has a Netflix show coming out soon. Gonna be all scientific and shit, of course. But they said Bill Nye's new show on Netflix in 2017. Each episode will tackle a topic from a scientific point of view, dispelling myths and refuting anti-scientific claims that may be espoused by politicians, religious leaders, or titans of industry. I love this shit. This sounds
fuck you
so good.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Bill Nye calls
people out on their bullshit.
And we all just get to have a good laugh. But he's like, this is important work.
Yeah, he's like, I'm doing the work that needs to be done.
Doing the Lord's work.
But no, the God particles work. You're welcome.
Sure.
But I'm going to make sure that everyone that disputes it knows they're fucking wrong.
Yeah. So I got to say, I'm a big fan. I'm super excited for that show.
For sure.
I'm excited for a lot of Netflix stuff.
That's
up there.
Yeah, it's certainly
that's up there.
All right, well, it's time for the questions now, and I really have to fucking pee. I've had to pee for like 15 minutes.
We're
gonna rush through these.
Okay.
First question comes from our boy Andrew Minimas. He asks, "Who would be on your video game Mount Rushmore?" Mine would be Chrono, Belmont, Samus, and Lara Croft.
You?
Marcus Phoenix, Master Chief, Nathan Drake, and I think I'm gonna put up Victor Sullivan on there.
All right.
I just like Victor.
Get two up there. Get
Why
two.
Not?
Uncharted.
Bro, he's a dashy looking man. He's the only guy in the game named Sully.
He's got a good face for a mountain, I gotta say. You get that mustache on there.
Bro, imagine they put the cigar in his mouth too.
Oh man,
that would be sick. With the smoke too.
Oh yeah, what if he's just like he's shoved like a fucking oak tree in there every week and just light it on fire from the bottom. That'd be so dope. Yeah, that'd be good. All right, so on mine, I gotta go. Oof, this is tough. I guess Joel from The Last of Us. I'll go. Sean Bean, of Game of Thrones fame, of 1,000 other movies fame, for his work in Civilization 6, just because I want that guy to be immortalized somewhere.
But his face isn't in the game at all.
But fuck it. He's a character.
Imagine they just put like a text bubble.
Yeah. Just covering his face. Shit.
Perfect.
We almost got it. Let's see. Who else have I been enjoying? I kind of want to pick the narrator from Darkest Dungeon as well, just because I'm enjoying that guy's work. But I can't have two narrators on there. I'll go Nathan Drake and maybe.
What about like anybody from Ogre Battle?
I was gonna say someone from Ogre Battle, but like no one would know who it was.
That doesn't matter. It's who.
All right, I guess Magnus from Ogre Battle.
Okay.
Or Paper Mario. Or like Mario, but like Paper Mario version.
But only Paper Mario.
Yeah, I want a 2D. Like, you gotta really cut that rock carefully. And if a hard wind blows, it's gonna knock the whole mountain over.
Oh no!
Next one, also from Andrew Menoas. We've all gotten too excited for a game and have been let down. Have you found a game that was hated, which you enjoyed? Now, we've talked long and hard about Too Human before.
Yeah.
That's like our always pick.
For sure.
For a question like this. But as far as one recently, like, I feel like this question almost specifically references No Man's Sky. I just didn't have that much of a problem with that game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, like, maybe that's my answer now.
I mean, that could definitely be your answer. I mean, Too Human is definitely one for me.
Yeah.
I don't think the game is hated that much, but, like, Xenoverse?
Hated, yeah. I mean, No Man's Sky is definitely hated.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It has a bad stigma to the name.
Yeah. I could see Xenoverse, like, people just totally ignoring it. Like, people just not even knowing it existed, you know?
Just, I mean, you know, I'm going to put the 3 on there because, I mean, people might not know Xenoverse, but, like, people that might like Dragon Ball Z, like, might not like Xenoverse. I'm going to put Devil May Cry, DMC, the most recent one, on there because it was a change of pace from the original character from the first 4 games, which people did not like.
Yeah.
And, honestly, give it a chance because it's so much better. I mean, I'm a big fan of the original quadrilogy. Saga, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the new one, like, the character actually has a personality.
Yeah.
So.
Also from Andrew, unless you want to take it. Are you ready to take it?
Sure, why not? Our boy Andrew Minimas with a third question, because he always kills it with them. He asks, not a New Year's resolution question, but have you guys been making any headway into healthier eating, and will it continue in the new year? Dude, let me tell you about this last week. I've eaten, like, straight garbage. Just horrible, horrible garbage. It's been bad. I'm probably gonna eat healthier once I move because I won't have money. I'll need to, like, healthier being relative. I'll have not as many calories in my given day.
I don't know if that's good. I don't know.
Although there is a 2-story Taco Bell with a cantina with a sports bar.
So you just lied to everyone. That's what you're saying.
I might.
Yeah.
It's cheap. I might have to.
I think since I moved in with my fiance, the food that I eat has gotten better, like more regulated. I'm not going out to buy food as much. Okay. Which is better.
For sure.
I make fucking shitty, terrible things for myself to eat sometimes, which I'm ashamed of, but like I made a grilled cheese the other day that had a layer, it had sharp cheddar, Gouda, and then sharp cheddar. Like layered like that on the bottom one. 3 slices of kind of like big pepperoni. Not like big, but like medium-sized pepperoni. Okay. Just one right there, you know? And then...
cooking with Jack Rooney.
And then I got some Chipotle ranch like basically salad dressing, but like kind of thicker.
Okay.
And I just got all that along one side of it, slapped the whole thing together, pan fried it with some butter. Oh. It's a good grilled cheese. Although it's like far exceeding the realm of what a grilled cheese is supposed to be. But
that's not a grilled cheese anymore. That's a sandwich.
But for the most part, I try and control myself and not do stuff like that. But I mean, I don't even regret that for a second. Oh, and answer to your question, I mean, like, I still intend to get healthier in the next year. I guess what I'm saying is, like, I've gotten better. I still slip up, but I intend to keep that going.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is we're all human, right?
Yeah.
You just got to eat sometimes. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's McDonald's. But you don't judge yourself. Don't judge.
Well,
I feel like garbage every time I eat McDonald's. So,
yeah.
Ugh.
Do you want? I'll take the next one. Next one from Jason Hales wants to know EA Star Wars games predictions. Go.
I don't know what they have in the game plan
pipeline.
right now.
Well, okay, so they've talked about Battlefront 2.
Yeah, Battlefront 2, and then they have the one from Visceral.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if he's talking about the one from Visceral, the third-person action game, which I think it should just be like a bounty hunter. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
But if even a smuggler, but if like my Star Wars dream right now for a video game, give me Force Unleashed again. You don't have to make it Star Killer. You don't have to do that. You can just give me like. Let it be like Darth Vader just going in and wrecking bitches. Whatever it is, I just want that kind of game, like a hack and slash kind of like make you feel way too powerful kind of game again. It doesn't have a lot of longevity to it or anything, but it is fun, and that's what I want. I think
some of the challenge in creating a like lightsaber combat third person action game is in making like I don't want my Jedi or even my Sith to feel like a hack and slash. Like I want it to feel like every move is calculated and like they know exactly what they're doing. They're not like jumping around and doing spins for no reason. It's like it's all for a purpose, you know? Yeah,
well, they don't really do that anymore. Like it was in the Clone Wars, but like Rebels and whatnot doesn't really have that much stuff in it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, because that's what I always preferred. I mean, because when they're limited in cinema to like shots, you know, like the camera's not going to just snap to like wherever you're making your character jump.
Yeah.
They're like more careful about how they make it, at least usually. Again, let's ignore the Clone Wars for a second.
Yeah.
They're usually more careful about how they have their characters move and like it's not like wild jumping around doing all this crazy shit. It's like
it's like, how you would expect sword fighting to actually.
Yeah. And but also a little bit of magic.
Well, yeah, of course, you want magic in there. That's why like I want something like Force Unleashed, but I mean, it doesn't have to be like all powerful. Even if it's something maybe not quite like Bloodborne like, where it's like calculated, but maybe have a little bit more consequence for not.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense because like ultimately, if Jedi fucks up a parry, they're done. That's a laser. We're just ripping right through them. You know what I mean? Some burning hot plasma.
Yeah. Right in the anus.
Next one comes from Jason Hales. I'm not going to address that. Name a game that could be improved by changing the style of the game. Like, for example, Superman 64 into an adventure game. I don't know if that would salvage Superman 64.
Probably not. That could be improved by changing the style of the game.
Yeah, like the genre, I guess. I
don't know. I mean, I guess what he means is like almost changing it altogether, like changing the way it's played.
Yeah, so I have to think of an example from earlier in this episode. So like No Man's Sky. Mm-hmm. We talked about maybe one of the most hated games this year. Like maybe that game could have been better as like an RTS or a like kind of like a factory building simulator where you have to like on each planet you have control of like certain units and you send them out to gather resources in different places. Maybe you have to protect them. They bring back the resources, they build a tower, and you blast off to the next galaxy. Something like that. And each planet there's new restrictions. I don't know if it would be, that's just like that might have been more satisfying for some people.
I really can't think of anything.
That's tough.
Because I mean, like Too Human, I liked that game the way it was. Like I just don't, I think it was people's opinion on it that like really changed it. That game I thought was really fun and it was cooperative. Like, what did you really want?
It was very cool. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say how you could change your game to make it better because, like, unfortunately, neither one of us are game devs.
Unfortunately, not.
So I don't think I'd be very good at it.
Nope. it's not a question, but from our boy Patrick Searles, he says, "Hope you guys had a good holidays and all that too. Love you, sweet, sweet boys."
I'm gonna read that slightly differently.
Okay.
Hope you guys had good holidays and all that too. Love you, sweet, sweet boys.
Yes, sweet, sweet boys. Well, we love you too, Patrick.
You sweet boy.
You're still alive in Nuzlocke, I believe. So
yeah, I haven't recorded an episode recently. So.
Yeah, so you're on the up and up there.
Yeah. Another question comes from Dave Ardito. What did you guys think of the Spider-Man leak and it being a more experienced Spidey with a wife and daughter? That's, I guess, the new Spider-Man video game from Insomniac. There was a leak of story details, I guess.
Yeah, synopsis, I think he said.
I don't know if that's accurate or not, so don't necessarily take this as a spoiler. It could be true, it might not be true, I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, is that I want to separate myself from that news as far as possible and just let that game happen, and whatever it is, and I'll be happy, because the thing is that if you look at it too far out, you're like, oh man, a old Spider-Man, like what do we want? Like,
but that could, I mean, like to me, the idea of taking on a different look at Spider-Man than we've had before,
is awesome.
Like he's never had like, I mean, at least in my experience of him in movies or video games, like he's never had a like real adult responsibilities, like real. Not like really. A real fucking life,
except
with
for
like a wife and like with a wife and a kid and like people to be responsible for, you know, and like I think having a child like definitely changes something.
Oh, for sure.
And I think you saw themes of that in a game like The Last of Us, where like you have this person who's like just trying to survive, and then this like someone that he becomes responsible for, like a surrogate child, comes in and just fucks his whole thing up.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want this. I don't want any of this. I just want to do me.
So I'm curious what that does, if that is true, what it might do for Spider-Man.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question comes from our boy Patrick Searles. He, again, asks, how do you feel about playing old games that are bad graphically? I want to replay KOTOR, and it looks really bad now. I agree with that. I tried to play KOTOR 2. Holy shit, that game is bad. It's tough, man. It's that game, I don't know how it was good at one point, because it's a turn-based, like, you pick your action beforehand. No.
Yeah.
No. I get, like, I'm sorry for those people that love KOTOR and everything, but, like, playing it nowadays, that game fucking sucks. That is bad. I apologize.
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, it's tough. Like, I thought about, I was trying to think of, like videos that I could do for us here at Nerds, and I was like, I wonder if I could get an NES Classic or whatever, and play through some of those games. And like I still might. It's still an idea I'm floating around.
You could also get it like a Retron 5.
Sure.
And do it that way.
But then I have to acquire games.
Yeah, that's true.
You know. Yeah. The NES, I just get games.
Well, NES Classic should be coming back in stock at some point, because Nintendo's just going to actually release stock.
You would hope so. But anyway, my point being, like, I'm concerned about going back to some of those games, especially the ones I haven't played before, that I have no nostalgia for. And, like, seeing them again, I'm going to be like,
That's the thing, man. Like, the thing is that I was playing KOTOR 2, and I was like, I just want to play SOTOR. Like, this is, I just want to play Knights of the Old Republic if I'm going to play this, because that's at least, like, I feel more into the action.
Yeah.
And, like, the story's at least told to me, and I don't have to make decisions again. Like, that was another point. But
yeah.
That's whatever.
But, I mean, to be fair, like, 2D games suffer less than 3D games, so maybe a game like KOTOR really suffers, whereas games on the NES are pretty much fine.
Yeah, maybe not as bad.
Do you want to take the last one?
I think we have 2 questions from last week, too.
Oh.
We didn't take, remember?
All right. Well, check it out. If you want to look that up, I'll look at this up. So Angel Urbina wants to know, have you guys seen the Fright Night remake that came out a few years ago? Thoughts? If not, you should. I haven't.
The Fright Night? Yeah, no. I did not. No.
But apparently that means we should.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
All right.
I don't remember. From last week, we
had to cut short at one point.
Yes, we did. I don't remember if it was during Tyler's question. I think it was after his and was going on to Joey. I think.
Yeah, so I guess it's just Joey then.
Yeah, well, it's Joey and Eric Myers.
Okay.
I think. And technically Andrew Minimas again. So Joey Malone asks, what's your game of the year that you played this year that came out before 2016? But came out before 2016. So something that came out previously before 2016, but you still saw as your favorite. Like, your favorite game from before 2016 that you only played this year.
I have no idea.
I don't think I
Probably Darkest Dungeon. Technically, it was in beta in 2015.
Technically, yeah.
Full release in 2016 though, so I guess it's cheating.
I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, man.
I got nothing.
I like you and I both had to stay pretty much on top of our games here in 2016, to keep up.
Well, that's where the next question comes from. Eric Myers asks, "What's a game that you missed this year that you want to go back and play?"
Are you in top or all tweets?
Top.
Okay, because I think you need to be in all. Because I think we actually did cover that.
Oh, maybe we did.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Joey Mullins was the last one.
Oh, I guess it was just Joey's. All right, yeah. I guess that's it then.
That covers it.
I gotta pee like a fucking madman.
All right, so let's get through this outro.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, sorry about that. Actually,
still pretty much a long episode.
Yeah, it's still pretty much, but it goes with the territory.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching or listening, as we always appreciate you. We cannot thank you enough. We hope that you stick around even with my departure and Jack's taking over of the reins.
That's fine.
So if you did want to keep following me, you can find me at Fred_Sully on Twitter.
And you can find him here for the next couple weeks. We'll,
Indeed.
transition out nice and slow.
Indeed. And then once that happens, I'll be over at Ismahawk on Twitter, as well as everything else. And then obviously you can still find Jack here on Knerds. And he is at Jack is Gaming on Twitter. And you can kind of find out some of the updates and everything from him on his personal account, as well as you can find it on @Knerds Podcast on Twitter.
Yep.
We'll post updates, kind of letting you know what is going on as much as we can, and try to get through this transition phase. So
as easily as possible.
Yeah.
If you want to be ready for that transition and start following my brother Paul, who I'm going to be doing Nerds of the Round Table with imminently, he is at Paul is Gaming, because he's a dick. And he likes to bite on my style. Am I
didn't
cool?
copyright that
Did
shit.
I do any? Is that right?
You didn't copyright it, so you lost it.
Fair enough.
That's what happens. All right. Well, I think the other thing is if you are a new listener or viewer, couldn't think of the word there for a second. If you are, and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so down below.
Absolutely.
There's a little subscribe button, as well as if you wanted to like the video and leave a comment. We will try to get back to you, as I did check them this week.
Look at that.
I fucked up before for a while.
No, it's covering you. We were all good. It's fine.
Okay. Well, that's that. And also, if you had any written work or video work or any kind of work that you wanted to submit to our website, be sure to do that by either emailing at contact
@nerdsonline.com.
Yeah, contact @nerdsonline.com, or you can go to nerdsonline.com/community-entry.
Yeah.
I think it'll be right here. Other than that, I think that covers all our bases.
Yeah, so if I can go pee.
I gotta go so bad. Thank you guys again, and keep nerding out. Oh my god.
Get out of here.
Oh.
This is going in. I'm editing the episode this week, so this is staying. I'll have you know.
Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video if you can. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Keep nerding out.